and welcome to Joy in Our Town. I'm Sherry Duckworth, and joining me today is Ms. Marcia Page. She's president and CEO of Education is Freedom. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation.
And I love that title, Education is Freedom. That's fantastic. Can you tell us about what you all do?
Well, what we do is we're on high school campuses. We're at 13 in Dallas ISD, and we actually help the kids make decisions or decide about what they want to do after high school. We provide them with opportunities and options. And then once they make that decision, then we help them and their parents navigate the whole process of application, of looking for financial aid, scholarships, and we work with kids that either want to go to 2-year community colleges, 4-year universities or colleges, career schools, or what they used to be called technical schools, yes, and the military. So whatever they choose to do, then we help them and their parents navigate the system.
That's fantastic. Now, what is your presence like in our community? How many schools are you in?
Right now we're in 13 high schools in Dallas ISD, and we touch about, in those 13 high schools, about 25,000 students.
That's a lot of students.
And a lot of kids,
That's good, though, because we as parents and also, educators, it's nice to have that extra help whenever you're helping them plan ahead for the future and thinking about college. And it's always nice to have that extra assistance and extra helping hand to kind of lead us in the direction we need to go.
Right.
Because that initial, okay, I want to go to college, now what?
Now what? And most of our kids are first generation. So who can answer the now what question for them? So that's the opportunity that we provide for them. We have the expertise right there in the high school.
Now, you've been around 10 years.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about how you all have succeeded in reaching out in the community and what the outcome has been with your kids that you talk with going to college.
So in 10 years, we're really, really proud of our successes. We've probably touched about 100,000 kids, about 25,000 parents, and we have helped them. We really love the fact that we're able to help them be economically viable, and think big and really pursue their dreams. And so the kids that join our program, just last year alone, we have about 40% of the seniors that actually opt into our program in a high school. And of those, all of them apply to at least one college or university. And we get about 60–70% of them that actually attend.
That's great.
So we feel really, really good about the impact that we're having on the kids and their families.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned one obstacle is thinking that they're not financially able to go to college. Let's talk about that first, because that's going to be the first thought on most parents' minds
Absolutely.
Who did not go themselves, is how are we going to afford to send you to college?
Well, and that is the conversation that's going on in the whole country right now, is about the cost of education. And first of all, we try to limit loans. We don't advocate students going for loans. The next thing we look at is affordability. And we look at what is it you want to do and where is the best school that can offer you that and that's affordable. Then we help them look for scholarships. And there are millions of dollars of scholarships out there. We show them how to search, and we show them what to look for. And we also help them with their financial aid. It's called a FAFSA, the TASFA document that they have to fill out that will tell them how much federal and state aid they're eligible for. And what's so unique about that in the state of Texas, which is a great thing, even our undocumented students are eligible for financial aid.
Interesting.
So that really, we look at both documented and undocumented students and helping them come up with the finances it will take to get into the colleges and universities they would like to go to.
I like that you don't encourage the loans right away, that you look at all of the other avenues and that you point out there are many scholarships to be had out there. You just have to search and know what to look for. And I think that is where it becomes overwhelming for people.
does.
Because
It
they're
does.
not sure what to look for.
Right. And that's what we do. We break it down into the basic elements, and we help them search. We show them how to look for scholarships. We identify local scholarships in the community that they're not even familiar with. And then we help them with the whole application process. And we really do. The loans are gap closing. After you've researched and gotten all your other money, if there's a little bit left, then maybe that's where you should look. And we even encourage them to do work study before we get, because work study does a couple of good things. One is they meet people.
Yes.
So they get more engaged into the school. And secondly, we say, try to get work study in the library.
That's a good place.
That's a good place to go do work study. And so we do encourage that.
That's fantastic. So now that we know there's money to be had, there are scholarships, there are financial aid, there's all of that for college. College is paid for. What are some of the other obstacles that people are facing? Why else wouldn't they go, or why would they think it's difficult other than the financial reasons?
One is if they're not strong test takers.
I see.
They may have taken the ACT and the SAT and they didn't score quite as high as they wanted to for university.
Right.
But universities now are looking at other attributes that students have. One of the things that they're really focusing on now is community service. What have you done? What kind of leadership roles have you taken in the community or in your church or in organizations or in the school? They look at the whole person now and not just your test-taking abilities. And then most of our colleges and universities have all sorts of services that can help the student once they get there. So it's the engagement process. Once you have the financials, then it's the engagement process. And you would just be amazed at what the schools offer their kids to help them through their difficult times.
I think that's great, because as someone who's a nervous test taker, it's good to know that they're going to look at other parts as well.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
of let's say it was me. It's been a long time since I've been a high school student, but back in the day, to know that they're going to look at more than just your scores is going to be nice, because there are a lot of kids out there who do have, either learning disabilities or have trouble taking tests.
Yes.
They have certain anxieties or what have you that affect how they take a test. So
Yes.
I think it's great. That's definitely encouraging for them to hear that.
It is.
There's more to
class,
it.
Go to class, get good grades.
Right.
Do things in the community, give back.
Yes.
Take on leadership roles, and you have opportunities.
That's fantastic. That's very encouraging, and
Yes.
that's good to know. Now, what are some things that people need to know concerning legislation in Texas when it comes to college?
Big change in the last legislative session when it comes to education in the state of Texas. They passed a bill called House Bill 5. And what House Bill 5, it does a lot of things. But the thing that has an immediate impact is the fact that now in the 8th grade, you have to start thinking about and make a decision as to what pathway you're going to take when you go into the 9th grade and into high school.
In 8th grade.
In 8th grade. And parents and students have to sign off on what they're calling them endorsements. And there are 5 endorsements. And there's the STEM endorsements, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. There's business and industry. There's public service. There's arts and humanities. And there's multidisciplinary studies. So they have to select one of those 5 when they're in the 8th grade to start taking when they get in the 9th grade. So there's a fundamentally new way of doing your high school programming that it is imperative that parents understand the new way that they're going to look at graduation plans starting this school year.
Wow.
Yes.
That is very challenging.
Very challenging.
And a little intimidating.
Absolutely, for both the student and the parent.
And the parent. I just had a sudden panic moment when you mentioned that. So when a child is going into the 9th grade, basically they're choosing what their future is going to look like at
They
9th
are.
grade.
They are.
Okay.
Now, there you can make some changes in high school, but after probably the 10th grade, you probably are pretty set, and you're not going to change that much. But you have to, these 5 pathways or endorsements are really broad.
Okay.
So it's just what you have a propendency towards and what you are passionate about.
Okay.
And then in each one of those, it can go, you know, like in STEM, it could be in math, it could be in engineering, it could be in IT services and business and industry, it could be marketing, it could be finance. So there are many, many different types of opportunities inside each one of those major endorsements.
I see. That's good to hear. You know, it's not something that, okay, this is what you are.
It's not as finite as it might sound.
Right.
There's a lot of room to negotiate inside of those.
Absolutely. And then, of course, that kind of helps with them a little bit more when focusing on the future.
Yes, it
and
helps
not just the right now, so that they can think about college.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yes, absolutely.
We want them to think about college. So for our parents in the school system, what can you say to encourage them today, those who are watching, that are wanting to plan ahead for college for their kids? Maybe they have gone to college themselves, but the world is different than when they went to school.
Very different.
Or for those who didn't go and really want their children to go to school, what is the first step to take for them?
Well, the first step is to understand that in every middle school and high school, and most of the school districts, they have software that the students are being trained on that will let them go in and do a matching and help them figure out what it is they're good at and what they would like to do, and start them on the path of the conversation of what's the best fit for me.
Right.
And I believe in the spring they're even going to invite parents in and train them on this software as well.
Oh, wow.
And so start having the conversations with your son or daughter. Is very, very important about what it is that they want to do. It may not be for a year, but I don't know if people in the city of Dallas understand that the community colleges, there are over 200 certification programs in 70 different industries where in a 2-year degree, you could come out of those schools with a starting salary of between $35,000 and $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
So it's not just your 4-year degree. There are so many certification programs out there, and the military offers a vast array. So that, and one of the big challenges for parents is you have to fill out those financial aid forms right after you get your W-2. Please fill out, get your taxes done. The money, the state and federal, is first come, first serve. So if your child gets their FAFSA and TASFA forms in first, the probability of them getting more financial aid is there. That's our biggest challenge. It's not the students.
It's the parents.
It's the parents.
Ooh.
Yes.
Uh-oh. You just lit a fire under all the parents. So come January.
Parents.
Get on
Income tax.
Let's do this.
Yes.
Yeah, so get it in there fast, so that way you're first in line.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's really good advice, though, because a lot of times you'll see kids even, wait until the very last minute, senior year.
That's right.
And they're just thinking about it, and that's almost too late.
Oh,
it's never too late. You can always go to college, don't get me wrong, but if you're in high school, it's better to start earlier.
Look at your class selection. If they can take AP classes, please get them in there, because that grade point average really plays a major role.
I think it's great. And of course, for more information, you can always go to educationisfreedom.org.
Right.
And they're going to get good information there, good steps to take, and they'll be able to contact someone from the organization if they need to talk to someone.
Absolutely. And they'll see us. We have a mobile van that has all kind of information you'll see running around the community at some of the libraries. Just stop them.
That's wonderful. Thank you for coming today, and thank you all for watching us here at Joy in Our Town.